Hello, LinkedIn. Back again for another lead scoring Monday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Um, Thank you for tuning in or watching this after the fact. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the way that I have been building my new scores in HubSpot using the a combination of the new HubSpot lead scoring tool and calculated properties together. And really, this session was sparked because I got a question last week. If you have used the combined score at all, or if you have researched about the combined score, you'll notice the combined score actually creates two scores. It creates an engagement score and a fit score. And for as long as I've been doing these lead scoring Mondays, which is at least a couple months, have been talking about how I will build multiple scores and then use a calculated field to add those scores together. However, in a sense, HubSpot is doing that with the combined scores out of the box. However, I'm finding that not to be the most helpful. It's not as flexible as I would like it to be. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Why it's not flexible enough for me, why I'm so high maintenance and need to do things a little differently, basically. And this also is a great workaround. The combined scores are only available if you have an enterprise subscription, marketing enterprise. I believe it's exclusively, but um, so if you don't have an enterprise, if you're using the pro level, you also can't use combined scores. So this could work for that as well. So let's just dive in. I'll stop yakking and we can just take a look together. Obviously, as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments here. Happy to answer them live if I'm able. Happy to follow up after the fact if I'm not able to chat about it live or I need to dig into it more. Or if you're watching after the fact, also drop a comment. I'll try to answer it after or DM me. I say this all the time. My DMs are always open. So feel free to DM me if you have a question and we can take a look together. And off the top, I'll also say if there's a specific lead scoring question that's not relevant to this specific discussion, also let me know. We can take that offline or happy to add that to the series at some point. I'm always looking for new ideas for my ongoing series here. All right. So what am I talking about? Great question. So if you go in and create a lead score in HubSpot right now, if you have enterprise, you have the option to do a contact engagement score, a contact fit score, or a contact combined score, which is the engagement and fit scores combined. And I should have pulled this up before, but what will happen, and to be honest, what is driving me a little bit insane, um, is that HubSpot will create with the new field. So this is another portal where I've built this out in the company score where created by Casey Hawkins. That's my old score. This is what I have now migrated to my new company score, which is my HubSpot score. Because this is built as a combined score, I have a separate property in HubSpot for the engagement score and the fit score, and then that gets combined into this company score. So yes, you could create one score in the new app using the combined, and you could put all of if you click add event group, these are going to be your event groups are your engagement scores, and then property groups are your fit scores. And you could just build that out like that and have those broken out, and you could see fit versus engagement scores. I guess I should back up like 1 minute. And the reason that I like having a separate scores like that is so that I can see those differently because they tell different stories. I had Danielle on last week, and we were talking. She talked about how she has 3 scores minimum in her portals. She has the company ICP score, the contact ICP score, and then the engagement score. I often break that engagement score up. I look at marketing email engagement separately than website engagement, separately than form engagement, and so on. How broken up or compact you want all of that to be depends on your business model, depends on your team size and everything like that. However, it is really valuable to be able to look at least those 3 things separately, because those are going to tell you really different stories. So your company's ICP, you're going to tell whether that company is even a fit for your business at all. Then beyond that, looking at the contact, is the contact in your sales cycle. And you want to look at that differently than the company, because you don't want to say that you may not want to say that a contact is a bad fit if just their company is a bad fit. Like, maybe there is room for growth and things like that. But more importantly, really, if a company is a bad fit, but the company is a good fit, but the contact is like a secretary who may not be in your ICP, or I have a client in the ed tech space and teachers aren't quite the sales people that the sales team is often talking to, but they are often influencers. So it's important to see who the whole circle of your contact database is versus like who the sales conversations are with. So I like to look at those 2 separately. And then third, I like to look at the engagement, because that's going to tell me who's like sales active, who's actively looking at our website, our emails, who's actively filling out our forms. And that's what you're really going to take like quick action from, are those people who are coming back recently. If you want to make that even more granular, you can break that into your email engagement versus your website engagement. Value in that is like you may find more of the website engagement is a more active audience than your email engagement, and then you can kind of filter from there. But at minimum, I think those 3 scores separately are really important. So that out of the gate, if I just use a combined score, I'm not going to be able to see my company ICP and my contact ICP together, because that would just be all the fit score. So that's like the first reason, is I like to have a little bit more granularity between the company fit and the contact fit. But the third reason, it comes down to the engagement scores. And these are events. So this is the engagement score. There are a lot of engagement options on the new scoring tool. And this has increased over time. It's gotten better. It's gotten more options, more filters, and things like this. However, currently, as of today, April 21st, 2025, at 9:40 a.m. Eastern, this could change tomorrow, but it is still missing some functionality that is making it so that at least when I'm building engagement scores, I'm often building them as engaged scores. However, they have a combination of what HubSpot is grouping as engagement versus behavioral, or engagement versus fit scoring. So for example, if I wanted to just do engagement scores, I might add event criteria for web events, page visited, let's say our URL domain is equal to kc.com. And I can now add a time filter in the last 30 days. And I want to give a score of 20. Or we're doing that every time a page is visited. Okay, maybe I'm giving a score of like 5. And maybe I'm going to limit that to 20. And then I also want to do one for, let's say, marketing emails. I don't love using marketing emails. Just keep that in mind. Not email sent, maybe clicked emails. I'll add a point every time and I'll limit that to 5. And I'll still add a time frame for 30 days. All right. Well, now I want to add one for forms. Form submission, and let's do the contact form name is any of contact. Great. Now I want to give a score of like 50 for that if they fill out the contact page. However, our contact page also has support often in it. So right now with the scoring tool built the way it is, I can't add that as an engagement filter. I can't say they filled out the contact form, but they didn't select that they were contacting for support. How I have to build that right now is through a form. So I'd have to say, I'd have to make a list of contacts, form submission, contact form, and I can do that less than 30 days ago. But I'd have to add a form filter for like, I don't know what reason for contact is none of, let's say reason 3 is support or something like that. And don't. Now I can use that in my scoring, but that has to be a property group because that's where events are. List membership belongs to all of my test list 1. And now I'm going to give my score of 50 for being on there. However, now my engagements, although all of this is what I'm referring to as my engagement, this is now going to come up in HubSpot as both a fit. This will be in the fit score, and then this will be in the engagement score. So my 50, not that that's that important. So I am not able to use any, basically I wouldn't be able to use any and criteria right now in my engagement scores if I wanted to have them, I was lucky, if I wanted to have them in the engagement, just in the engagement score on in HubSpot. So right now, if I am to save this, it's going to create a combined score. It's going to say fit is all of these scores and engagement's all of these scores, even though I really want them together. So as engagement score. So how would I actually like build this out? I would say 50 here, 50 here. All right. Review and turn on. Oh, my thresholds I need to set. So it's going to set these thresholds also. I am kind of, you can edit the labels and stuff here. I'm kind of, if you go in the settings, you can see, so it's going to make the total score, the fit score, and the engagement score. Honestly, I kind of wish these were options, but that's neither here nor there. It's just creating a lot of noise on the back end for me right now. But that's what it is. So let's say this is 10, 50, 50, 25 to 25. Or turn on. Then I would also create a score. It might make it a combined score. I probably could just make it a fit score for contacts. Contact ICP score. And I'm going to add my contact job title is equal to CEO. Maybe email is known. And then if there's anything else we might see, and maybe for me and specifically, maybe it's that they are equal to United States. And this is 10, and this is 5, and this is 10, and whatever. We're going to turn on. All right. And then I'm also going to create and this again can probably be a fit score. I might do it as a combined score just to give me more flexibility. I'm going to do the company ICP. I'm going to add a property group. Now I'm going to, based on the company, and I might even go on to like primary company just to make sure. And then I'm going to say revenue is total revenue. I was like, I don't know what that is, but this is why you should clean up your properties, everyone. There, that we want that 10. Then we're also going to add our industry is any of hospitals 25, and then whatever other like company based stuff. Sometimes I do number of associated contacts is greater than maybe let's say 5. That just shows me that like we have a lot of contacts. That's kind of a good sign. I don't know, anything like that. So you build out your company ICP though. Turn on. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the settings. I'm going to go to properties, and this is the way I'm building this one. This is going to be a contact property. I'm going to create my property test combined score field type, and we're going to make this a calculation, custom equation, get that out of there. And then I'm going to add in my properties. So test score, test company ICP score plus contact ICP score plus engagement score. And you'll see like, so that engagement score, because that one was a combined, I do have the fit and I have the engagement score separately. And that got broken out because I have the list-based would be in the fit and the other scores I built would be in the engagement. And then this would be my test combined score. I would create that. And now over to contacts, edit columns, test. So then I'm able to look at my contact ICP engagement score, combined score, and then just for, as you can see. So now I'm able to see for each of my contacts what their company ICP, their contact ICP, and then their engagement score is. And then this total combined will add all of that together. And you can see where the engagement score got broken out between the list membership and the non-list membership stuff. But why I like this is now I can kind of filter based on this. So I can say, okay, like this Amanda, her company does not fit my ICP, but her contact does. So that may be something like if on like a deprioritized list of contacts that the team might want to reach out to or research because is the company not in the ICP or do we not have the data? It could be either. I'm not sure. And you can then also see, okay, this Merrill has a company score of 25 and his contact score is 25. That's a good fit. If we had any engagement with him, I'd want to reach out to him very quickly and prioritize that maybe above this one person who has a 15 points for their contact score. They're not as high of a priority, perhaps. And then even these 35s, we want to reach out to really quickly because they're even closer to our company fit. So those are generally the ways that I'm using that kind of calculated field on top of the new lead scoring tool and how I'm applying that. And again, you can kind of, how many of these you want to build out is up to you and your team. Like I said, I do have a client that has a separate score for email engagement versus website engagement. That might be valuable if you have a specific website team versus an email team, and they might be kind of balancing that. Or if you're seeing better leads talking to sales, better sales conversations from contacts who are starting from an email campaign versus a website visit or vice versa. So you can kind of filter, and it just gives you a lot more flexibility to filter and look at things from there when you have the data able to both be combined and broken out. And it just gives you more context. So, I mean, in this example, I know I just built a engagement score very quickly. And so some of these don't have one. But I am able to, if I have the engagement score broken out, I can see very quickly in a view like this what they engaged with and where they are on the journey. For example, if I just sent out a really big email campaign, my marketing email scores might be inflating my scores overall, my engagement scores. Um, so that might give me a signal that, oh, so yeah, we have a lot of engagement from this email marketing campaign that we just pushed out. So if someone actually visited the website, maybe that's even like a bit higher at that time without having to redo your scores because you can just see very quickly what happened. Take a look. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, my DMs are always open. And if you have any other lead scoring questions, let me know. And I'm happy to answer those either one-on-one or do a live session walking through any questions that you might have. Have a good rest of your week, everyone. I've got a busy LinkedIn schedule this week, so feel free to follow along and join. I hope to see you at one of the many sessions that we'll be doing this week on everything HubSpot. Have a good start to your week, everyone, and I hope to see you on the Monday briefing with Kyle and Max shortly.